I'm scared, lads. I'm actually scared. My favorite Premier League team, Fulham, are in strife right now. After a boring nothing transfer window, we made one proper signing. We're in the relegation battle. I am not surprised. It feels like everybody else is, but I'm mad. Last year, we came off one of our greatest ever Premier League seasons, and the momentum was there. The momentum to use this to our advantage, push into potentially getting European football this year, and now it is the complete opposite. We have started the season looking so poor, and losing to Everton this past weekend was my tipping point. 4 losses in our last 5 games, and the only win came against bottom placed Wolverhampton. We genuinely suck right now. So we're taking over at the Cottage before it is too late. I'm going to be saving Fulham from relegation and resuming our momentum towards the top. Now, live starve points has done us a little bit of a solid here. We come in before the Everton game, which of course we lost 2-0 and looked pretty damn woeful in. 4 points out of the relegation zone right now. In real life, we are just 1. And this is what our default starting lineup is in the game. It's basically the exact same as we've been playing most weeks, except Jimenez has been normally starting ahead of Rodrigo Muniz. Kevin now starting to come into the starting 11, which I'm a fan of. I like Kevin. I'm enjoying watching him. Just needs to actually be stringing it together. I'm going to put my spin on it. I've got to go for our strongest possible starting 11. We need to be away from the relegation battle once the window opens. So this is how we will be lining up to start the season. Smith Rowe, Chukwueze, and Anthony Robinson, who I cannot wait to come back into the starting 11. Sessegnon's been really good, but bro, Robinson is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I've got changes to make in January, but let's go see how we're sitting to start life at Fulham. And if you look above my head right now, the simulation has made things extremely realistic. We lost to Everton in the simulation. This is more like it. We've steadied the ship in November and December, and we are sitting 11th in the Premier League right now on 25 points. Still not safe. We're only 8 points ahead of Burnley and Nottingham Forest there. And Wolverhampton actually managed to get a win. But now it is time for us to make some business happen. And for me, a big problem with this Fulham squad is our team is so old. Even like the star players in the squad are in their late 20s. We don't have that many good prospects that are in the early 20s. You got Kevin that's 22. Basically everybody else that is 22 or lower is out on loan except for Josh King, who I will be throwing off on loan. King is an absolute stud. When he came on off the bench against Everton last week, he changed the momentum there. But from a FIFA, from an FC perspective, 71's not going to keep us up in the Prem. We desperately need to focus on getting players into the squad that are younger than what we currently have and also higher rated. Now, the centre-back's probably the worst example of this because I'm getting somebody that is the same age as our current option in Bassi. But it is going to be the Ivory Coast centre-back, Evan Ndika, 26 years of age, 81 overall, joining us from Roma as our first signing. We've paid a pretty penny for him, 25.6 mil, but it's actually nice to start spending money. I have put Calvin Bassey on the transfer list though. Normality, like if I was going purely just based on numbers, I'd be selling Joachim Anderson and keeping Bassey, but bro, this dude does my head in. Like some games he is so damn solid and so reliable, but he just has a brain snap every single game. Like on the weekend against Everton, he gets the ball from centre back, drives up the middle, makes a great run, and then he's like 10 yards in front of the back line, decides to play it across the face of the goal, straight back to the Everton defender and almost gave away a goal. He does stuff like that every single game. So for now, my backline, I want Ndika and I want Joachim Anderson as our 2 centre-backs. And yeah, there it is. Calvin Bassey is out of the club. I'm hoping that his brain snaps can carry over because we have sold him in league. We've sold him to Newcastle United, 16.5 mil. But this one might raise a few eyebrows. I'm actually going to sell Alex Iwobi. I want to give Kevin that starting left mid spot. Right now, I'm happy with Samuel Chukwueze playing right mid. Not that he's normally starting for Fulham, but in this reality, I want him to be. Iwobi's 29, he's 80 overall. Let's cash in on him. Let's put, oh, there we go, Rodrigo Muniz. That was going to be my next talking point. We'll come back to that. And we've also sold Issa Diop. This is a busy day. Issa Diop sold to Leverkusen. Oh my God, I accepted all these offers, but they're all coming before I can talk about Iwobi. Tede sold to Palace. But yeah, I got £25 million for Alex Iwobi to go to Tottenham. Let's put that towards a new striker. For most Fulham fans, we are crying out for a new striker. Muniz shows sparks, but I think he's better as a super sub. I think he's better coming off the bench and playing half an hour. Jimenez doesn't last a full game. Like, we need somebody that can finally replace Mitrovic, to be totally honest. I want to splash the cash on a striker for the future. I could have used Muniz as a backup, but I want to get some growth for him. We are going to get the services of the Algerian striker, Amin Gouiri. 25 years of age, 80 overall, looking to make his big move to the Premier League. We're going to give him the keys to the cottage, the number 9 jersey, and the striker role. And I'm hoping this guy is going to be our answer to finally replacing Alexander Mitrovic. For £30 million, signing him from Marseille, that's basically the Iwobi money. I'm happy with that. And a former Fulham player that was with us on loan a few years ago, God, that would have been like 5 years ago, honestly, is going to join us permanently. Listed as a left back, Nico Williams is going to join us. He's going to be playing right back. Well, that's assuming that the game doesn't want to be an asshole. Yeah, perfect. 2 weeks for Nico Williams to go to right back. And look, unfortunately, we're going to be losing Ryan Sessegnon at the end of the year. Refused to sign a new contract, so he's going to Bilbao. And finally, we got a loan move for Josh King. If this was like a playthrough career mode, like the ones I do on my second channel, if you want to see one with West Ham, go check that out. But if this was a playthrough, I'd be starting Josh King. I would want to see his development just like real life. But from a rebuild video aspect, we've got to send him on loan. He's off to Marseille, doing a little deal with Marseille after the Gouiri deal. So, this is how we will be ending Season 1. This is the squad after our opening window. Sander Berge going up to an 80. Players like Sasha Lukic and Joachim Andersen, probably their final 6 months as starters. I'll probably look to get younger upgrades next year, but we've got a younger core, we've got some upgrades, and we finally have a striker. I'm just happy that we survived relegation. We came home and had a pretty bad end of the season. We didn't get a single win in April or May, but it doesn't affect us. 11th in the Premier League right now. As a Fulham fan, I'd take that. Who goes down? It is going to be Burnley. Sunderland! No way, bro. The game has done Sunderland so dirty. Sunderland right now are in a Champions League spot, and somehow, like, they started in a Champions League spot in this video. Somehow they ended up with the same amount of points as Wolverhampton. That is bad. All three, well, 2 of the 3 promoted teams go straight down. And who's going to win the Premier League? It is going to be Arsenal. Liverpool win the FA Cup. We went out. This is actually frustrating as hell. We went out in the round of 16 to Hull. Like, this tournament was there for the taking. Man City win the Carabao Cup. Another tournament where we went out in the quarterfinals to Newcastle United. That is not a good omen. This is how it's going to be in real life. I want us to actually go on a cup run there. Barcelona win an El Clasico Champions League final. Real Betis beat Nottingham Forest in the Europa League final. And Strasbourg win the Conference League. Kevin ends up making the most of the game time he got in the second half of the year. 11 goals, 4 assists, +2 growth. Gouiri goes and gets 11 goals in half a season. I'm excited to see what he can do with a full season under his belt. Now, look, we have one of the smallest, if not the smallest squad in the Premier League. So the fact we're going to lose Chuezi and Kusiasere from their loan spells, and then Jimenez, Traore, and Sessegnon as they sign pre-contracts elsewhere. We've got a few players coming back from loan, but bro, our squad is going to be thin next year. We're going to have to spend big. Bring on Season 2. Our squad numbers are decimated, so I'm going to have to break the Khan's hearts because Fulham, for the start of this window, are going to become a buying club. So, with Chuezi's loan spell concluding, we need a right midfielder for the future. I'm going to the top team in Turkey to do just that. Galatasaray have been dominating the Turkish Super League this year. I want us dominating the English Premier League. We have got ourselves a new right midfielder. Say hello to Yunus. It is going to be Yunus Akgun joining us for 20 mil from Galatasaray. A bargain. We need to make sure our squad depth is pretty good coming into the season though, because we lost so many players on free. So my next 3 signings are going to all be for rotational backup players. Another former loanee of the club coming permanently after getting relegated with Burnley. It is Armando Broja. My fellow countryman, Jordi Boss, is going to be joining us as a replacement to Ryan Sessegnon. And to sit behind Kevin and play backup left mid, another Burnley player, Mike Tresor, joining us for 2.6 mil. I am open to selling a few players though that are either going to clear up space in our budget or that aren't re-signing contracts. In Castagne's space, he is not re-signing a contract. He's off at the end of the year, so it's either sell him now or lose him on a free. So I'm probably going to have to go in Harrison Reed as well. at the end of the year 1.45 mil to St. Pauli, but I'm probably going to have to go in at some point and sign a new backup right back. But when it comes to the CEO of Yellow Cards, Sasa Lukic, I'm selling him because I want a younger model at defensive midfield, somebody that hopefully isn't going to get as booked as often as he does. Sasa Lukic heading on a southern French vacation. Centre back, another position where I want to get a younger upgrade. Joachim Anderson, I'm a huge fan of, but unfortunately, he's getting older, he's worth a decent amount of money, and we don't have the luxury to keep him on the bench. So the Great Dane heading to Villa Park. Got ourselves a new centre half. After spending last year on loan at Sunderland, Lascherel Gertruda has gone back to his parent club of RB Leipzig. We're going to bring him back to the Premier League permanently. The Dutch defender, same overall as Anderson, 5 years younger. I'm pretty happy with this one. Follow that with our new defensive midfielder, Keishu Saino, the Japanese defensive midfielder, joining us from Mainz. 80 rated, 25 years of age. The future is looking bright. Now, I don't intend on this guy ever starting, but I got to keep working on our squad depth. Say hello and welcome to the cottage, Ethan Laird, our new backup right back. And also say hello to our new backup defensive midfielder, the Scotsman, Connor Barron, signing from Rangers. And now we can breathe. What a window. I'm probably biased, but this team is so much better than what we started with. The stability is back at the cottage. I'm excited for the future. We've got decent squad depth. Again, it's something we're going to have to continue working on, but it's way better than last year. I don't want us anywhere near the relegation zone. We should genuinely be trying to push for some sort of European qualification. Let's see if we can pull that off. Oh my God, 11th for the second year in a row. Last year, it was a great relief to see 11th. This year, feels like a disappointment. I wanted to be up where Newcastle and Tottenham or Bournemouth are. Oh my God, bro. Liverpool win the league on goal difference. Who's going down? Is it going to be the three promoted teams? No, it's two of them. Ipswich survive on, holy hell, Leicester, Ipswich, and Brentford all had 31 points. Leicester are the unlucky team going down on goal difference alongside Everton and Bristol. Oh my God. Okay, 11th does not seem like a problem anymore because we have won the FA Cup with Fulham. We have won the FA Cup. We're going to be going to Europe next year. We beat Newcastle in the final. Semi-finals, Charlton. Oh my God. Last year I said that it was an easy run to the final if we had not lost in the damn quarterfinals to Hull. This year is even more. We beat Chelsea in a West London derby in the round of 16. And from there, it was basically cruising. Damn, that's a tough year for Newcastle. 2 cup losses in the year. Oh my God, we went out in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Real Madrid win the Champions League after losing it last year. Good year to be a team from Madrid. And Bournemouth have won the Conference League. Fair play. This is music to my ears. I wanted Guiri to have a full year under his belt. I was excited to see how he went. He has absolutely brained it. 37 goal contributions for the Algerian striker. 84 overall. Akgun goes up +2, 18 goal contributions. And Emile Smith-Rowe has had a bit of a career renaissance. Things are kind of looking not too great for Smith-Rowe at Fulham in real life. But in this universe, 29 goal contributions. Josh King goes up +3 on his loan spell at Marseille. I'm happy with that. Muniz up to a 79 as well. To be fair, he's coming back next year. Oh, do I keep him as a backup or do I sell him on? I think that's going to depend on our budget. We are going to have a couple players walking away from the beautiful game at the end of the season. Benjamin Lecomte, but most notably, Captain Kearney, the Wizard, one of my favorite players of all time, Tom Kearney, King Kearney, retiring. I love this dude. Mediocrity in the league, but FA Cup champions with the mighty Fulham. That means we have Europa League football coming to the cottage next year. Can we get another miracle like we did, 2010? Let's see if that can happen. Bernd Leno is going to go down as one of the greatest goalkeepers in modern Fulham history. Hell, not just modern, all-time Fulham history, but the time has come to upgrade him. He's starting to decrease in his attributes. We need an upgrade at the goalkeeper spot if we're going to get ourselves into the Champions League. So it is time for the Dutchman, Bart Verbruggen, to return to the Premier League. Brighton player in real life. He actually left them in this save. Bart Verbruggen will be joining us from Atalanta for £26 million. This is not good though, fellas. Anthony Robinson, I'd just given him the bloody captain's armband after Bernd Leno left. He has submitted a transfer request. I can't get it off him. I can't even offer him a new contract. He has 12 months remaining on his contract. I'm going to have to sell him. He's one of my favorite players. He's our highest rated starting 11 player. I'm going to have to sell Jedi. And whilst we wait for the offers to come in for Robinson, I'm going to make a move that I actually intended to make. We're going to go for a new defensive midfielder this year. Sander Berge has been really solid, but again, time just not on his side at Fulham. So as he nears his 30s, he makes the move to Germany. And there it is. Robinson's gone. And the most annoying part is I didn't even get a stupid amount of money for him. Like, we're going to be able to make a good replacement signing, but for what he means to us, the fee that we got just doesn't really represent that. Like, don't get me wrong, £32 million is decent, but he's like almost invaluable for us. The board says it's an A, but for me, it's an L. The first thing we're going to do, though, is bring in our new starting defensive midfielder. We've actually done a deal with Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola in this universe is now the manager of Real Betis. Sergio Altamira, the Spanish defensive midfielder, is going to be our new starting defensive midfielder alongside Sander. We've got a Spaniard and a Japanese defensive midfielder. He signs on from Real Betis. It took a worldwide search and a little while to actually get ourselves a new left back, but we got maybe the most handsome man in world football as a Fulham player. Another player that started in the Premier League left and is now returning. Ricardo Calafiori is signing from Monaco. It's a sad day, it's a sad decision, but I have decided to sell Bernd Leno, mainly because I don't want him taking game time off Verbruggen. His contract expires at the end of the year. I couldn't renegotiate to get him on a rotational player role, so we're going to cash in on Bernd Leno. Nothing but good vibes with Leno, but he's going to go play in Turkey. We have got ourselves a team, ladies and gentlemen. We have got ourselves a team, and Dick are up to an 84. Kevin and Smith Rowe, the only two starting 11 players that remain from season number 1. We have revolutionized this Fulham team. I cannot wait for the year we have ahead. And lads, with the Europa League ahead of us, I'm excited to see what we can do there. I mean, obviously, I would love for us to win it. I don't have any crazy expectations. I would just like us to be playing Champions League next year. It might still be a little far out of our grasp, but why not shoot for the stars and see how we go? Dude, the draws are killing us. We have 2 losses the entire first half of the season. We sit 6th. We're only 3 points outside of the top 4, but 10 draws. 10 draws. Oh my God, bro. Like, we have as many losses as first placed Liverpool. And I mean, we're still got 2 games to go in the Europa League, but we haven't lost a game there either. We actually look insane. So I see no need to change anything with the starting 11. We just need to make a few tweaks. So I'm going to focus on just continuing to build out the squad depth. Another backup centre-back, another very serviceable centre-back. Making the step up from the championship, Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Those draws at the start of the season can genuinely get fucked. We miss out on the Champions League by 3 points. 3 points! Chelsea on 69. Nice. 15 draws though. 15 draws! Only 6 losses. And we're in the Europa League again next year unless we manage to win the damn thing. Liverpool win the damn Premier League. Oh my God, bro. Going down. It's West Ham, Burnley, Norwich. We lost the Community Shield at the start of the year on penalties to Liverpool. That should have been an omen. Man City win the FA Cup. Arsenal demolish Newcastle and win the Carabao. Real Madrid go back-to-back in the Champions League. And now it's time for us to find out about the Europa League. We did automatically make it to the next round. Only 1 loss. 5th place in league play, which is incredible. Playoff round we get to skip, and we go right into the round of 16 where we beat Royal Union St. Galois 5-1 into the quarterfinals where we lose to Juventus. That could have genuinely been such a great omen. When Fulham made the Europa League final, they had that incredible comeback against Juventus in the quarterfinals. We could have rewrote history, but instead we lose 7-3. And Aston Villa end up going on and winning the Europa League. And Tottenham win the Conference League. So we will be condemned to the Europa League again in season number 4. Fucking great year though. I don't mean to keep swearing, lads, but Amine Guiri, 24 goals. Akgun, our right midfielder, 22 goals. And Smith Rowe, 17 goals. Looking incredible. A little worried about Kevin though. I need a little more growth out of him. He's 25, so time is still on his side, but we do kind of need to go and we're going to have money. We need to go and get superstars to get us into the Champions League. Rodrigo Muniz and King both came back from their loan moves though. Muniz went up to an 80 this year. They both came back late in January. King went up to a 77. But next year needs to be the year that we finally break out of the Europa League. We have got over £130 million in our bank account, but I'm only making one signing this summer. It is going to be John Mikel Aramburu. He is a Venezuelan right back that we have signed from, I believe, Sociedad. 83 rated, Eintracht Frankfurt. 37.8 million pounds, 83 rated. But the reason he's going to be the only signing of the window is because of two players, Kevin and Emil Smith-Rowe. Two of our only original players, still in the squad. I want to see if they get any growth. We've got 100 million pounds. We may as well give them the first half of the season, and if one of them or both of them are not living up to expectations, then go for an upgrade. And with Josh King coming back, I'm actually going to send him probably on one final loan move. He's going to be heading off to Spain for the year. Matt Dibley Diaz, I've been accepting offers for him for the past 2 years, but the New Zealander is heading off to Neom. It's a really, really quiet start to the season. Aramburu is a really nice addition to the squad. Kevin already goes up +1. That's nice to see, but all of our main business is going to come in January. We've got 94 million pounds still in the bank. I just want us sitting inside of the top 4 come January 1st so that any business we do is going to shake up the title race. And we're in the Europa League once again, so I wouldn't mind if we could go further than the quarterfinals. I wouldn't mind going all the way. I just want to be in the Champions League for Season 5. Okay, a little more work than I had originally hoped for. We sit 7th in the Premier League right now on 34 points. Chelsea sitting in 4th, 6 points behind us. Bournemouth on 40, so we are definitely not in the title race, but there is a lot, like those 3 positions in the Champions League spots are well and truly attainable. Bro, the lads, I had Smith, Rowe, and Kevin on the chopping block. They have both grown 2 overall here in the first half of the season. Honestly, I didn't expect this, but I think I'm going to have to go and upgrade Sanu. He's one of the older players in the starting 11, and now the lowest, or one of the lowest rated in the starting 11. And so we're going to make the decision that I did not anticipate making at the start of the year to sell Kaishu Sano. I want to go all in for one of the world's best defensive midfielders. He's been reliable, but we need a superstar. The Japanese midfielder heads to Forest. And 75 million pounds later, Fulham have got their new defensive midfielder, Carlos Baleba. This is the type of signing that is immediately going to put us in the shop front window for being a Champions League qualifying contender. 87 rated. He is so good, bro. So good. The Cameroonian centre defensive midfielder joining us from Brighton and Hove Albion for 75 mil. The white finishes on his jersey make it look like he's even ready to... He looks like he's been at Fulham all along. But we have a pretty tough reality to face with Ndika and Gertruda being 29 and 28 and us not even having qualified for the Champions League yet. We have to start planning for succession without those guys if they age out. So with 40 million pounds in our budget, I've gone ahead and tried to find one of the world's best young defenders. And we have done that right here. From the Ivory Coast, we've got Sia. Now, he's 83 rated already at age 21, 22, I believe. Manuel Sia we signed from Stade de Reims, 33 mil. There's a real argument to make that maybe we pull the ripcord with either Evan Ndika or Gertruda right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw Emmanuel Sia on the list, loan list. See if we can get him some game time for the next 6 months. And if he comes back 84 rated and higher rated than one of these guys, he'll be a starter. There was no shortage of clubs trying to get Emmanuel C off on loan, but we've got him a short one for the next 6 months. He will be joining his, I guess they would have teammates together, Sano at Forest. The Premier League is so cutthroat, bro. So cutthroat. We finish 6th. 6th! We get rid of getting the draws, and we just finish on 69 points, 2 points away from Chelsea. The slow start to the season, I guess it's just a slow season all around. 55 goals though, we scored more goals than Chelsea, almost the same as Arsenal, but the goals are way, way worse than all the teams around us. Newcastle United end up winning the Premier League, so fair play to them. But bro, sick. This is proving to be a much more difficult rebuild than I anticipated. Oh, life as a Fulham fan's never easy, but it's proven that again today. Brighton get relegated though. They might be having a fire sale. We might be able to pick up some good talent there. Spurs beat Sunderland to win the FA Cup. Brighton are going to be... Okay, Brighton have won the Carabao Cup, meaning they're playing European football next year, whilst also being in the Championship. Atletico Madrid end Real Madrid's run of form. Real Madrid were trying to go for 3 Champions Leagues in a row. We finished better than we did last year, from 5th to 3rd. Not a single loss in the Europa League. That fills me with confidence. So we skip the playoffs into the round of 16 where we win 5-1. Now, we went out in the quarterfinals last year. This is so much pressure because we need to win the Europa League if we want to get ourselves to the Champions League. Quarterfinals, we beat Braga. Soft draw so far, but looking at the teams remaining, Chelsea, Porto, Bilbao, no easy matchups. Are we into the final? Yes, we are! A West London derby where we beat Chelsea 4-2. Oh my God, it's Bilbao. Bilbao versus Fulham. Champions League final, Europa League final rather, in Season 5. We are heading to the Champions League next year. Get in there. 2-0 Fulham over Bilbao. We take down Ryan Sessegnon and Bilbao. We have won the Europa League, and we can't do it by the Premier League, but we get there via the Europa. Up the Fulham. Meanwhile, trying to get off that high, but Eintracht Frankfurt win the Conference League. Oh my, okay, we need to look at the Ballon d'Or next year. Guiri, 90 overall, 37 goals and 9 assists. Akun's had a great year. Smith Rowe, we keep the faith and it pays off. Both those guys didn't get any growth from their quick starts to the year, but they're putting up solid numbers. Calafiori, no growth for good. Okay, no growth for either of them. We need to go see what C is looking at. No growth for Emmanuel C either on his loan spell at Forest. Dude, we're going to have money. I need to look at the rest of the squad, but maybe I just go in for somebody new that's like 85 rated or higher in the defense. Only +1 growth for Josh King as well. But we're going to need to go in for a new backup goalkeeper. Stephen Bender refusing to sign a new contract and heading to Vitoria. He's not going to be here for the Champions League. I'm so excited though. Bring on Season 5 with Fulham. We've got some tough decisions to make in Season number 5. Unfortunately, Nico Williams does not want to be playing backup right back, so I'm fine with that. I'm going to sell him. He actually returns to his former club of Liverpool for just shy of 24 mil. And I'm also going to make a huge call in the back line. C's not ready to go. I'm going to send him off on loan, but I'm going to cash in on Geertruida because I want to sign one of the world's best centre backs. I've also sold the Canadian Luke de Figueroles to LAFC. But yeah, off to Bayern Munich, another 39 mil to add towards a new star centre back. Could have gone and had C in there who's 84, could have had Geertruida who's 84, but why not go for somebody that's like 88, 89 overall, spend a solid amount of money and make sure that position is the best in the world? And that is exactly what we're going to do by signing Piero Hincapié. 89 rated, 27 years of age, playing at Bayer Leverkusen. He comes back to the Premier League after his loan spell at Arsenal, and I'm so excited to have him in the squad. We're into the Champions League and we add an 89 rated player. That is a great signal of intent. Our new highest rated player, Piero Hincapié, welcome to Fulham. We've paid a shit ton for him though, fellas. £90 million. But I think it's going to be worth it. And we needed a new backup goalkeeper, so let's go get one from Brighton, from that relegated Brighton squad. A great prospect, the Englishman, James Beadle, 78 rated, 24 years of age, signing on from Brighton. And there we go. Emmanuel C is off on loan. It's going to be 2 years at Bournemouth, but I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him. I'll be ready to recall him whenever. The odds of him actually staying at Bournemouth for those full 2 years is pretty low, to be honest. But I'm actually going to stop here because I want to see the UEFA Super Cup. This is going to be a great barometer of where we're at. I mean, Fulham have already lost a major European trophy to Atletico Madrid in our history. We lost the Europa League all those years ago to them on a pen. Was it an extra time? I mean, I was a kid when that happened, but we're versing them in Cardiff City here. Can we get ourselves a trophy to start the year? Yes, we do. We come from behind. Our Algerian striker, Guiri, is going to get us the UEFA Super Cup. Good omen for Season 5, that is. Just a beautiful team we have, fellas. Kevin goes up to an 84, which is music to my ears. 84 at 26. My barometer, I've said it if you've been watching the rebuilds long term, but I really like it when the entire starting 11 is 85 rated or higher. And Dika goes up to an 86. That fills me with confidence. I'm feeling good about this year, fellas. I'm feeling good about it. I've got Muniz, I've got King back into the squad here. Let's go see what our Champions League draw's looking like. We are ranked 18th. We are the reigning Europa League champions. I would have loved if we were in the Champions League last year, though, just for the experience. It's pretty hard to just go in the first year and actually win it. I think we have the squad to do it, but whether we can actually do that is a different question. Versing Salzburg in our first game. Then in October, we're away in Monaco. And then we host Galatasaray. Hosting Como. Not too bad so far. This is where it might get tough, though. Away at the San Siro against Inter. December, we host Atletico Madrid in a replay of the Super Cup. And we ended up with a trip to Hungary and a trip to the south of France to take on Marseille. So if we can survive the Madrid and Milan games, Honestly, I think we'd be sweet. Boo! Boo! How come Amin Guiri's not nominated? Vinicius, Rodrigo, Julian Alvarez, and Kylian Mbappe. The Madrid bias is real. Justice for our man Guiri. Oh, I would rather just come like 20th than 10th and miss out by 1 point. We miss out on an automatic spot in the round of 16 by a point. That is incredibly frustrating. 4 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. I can probably tell where those 2 losses came from, but who do we have in the playoffs? Okay, it's going to be a trip to the Greek capital of Athens, AEK Athens. Not the worst draw in the world at all. Things are going pretty well in the Premier League though. Only 1 loss all year so far. 2 points off the title from Man City. 15 games to go. The thing I like though, 10 points ahead of Newcastle. Needs to stay that way. So we're off to Greece for the first leg. Carlos Baleba suspended, so the Scotsman Connor Barron joins the starting 11. Happy to see Smith Rowe up to an 85. First leg, let's survive. 2-0. That'll do. Barron scores in his rare starting appearance. Kevin scores. Beautiful. Back at the cottage. Back with Baleba. Hopefully into the round of 16 where we want it to be all along. 2-2. That's fine. Only 1 yellow card. I would have rathered no yellow cards. Indika getting a yellow there. Yunus and Guiri, we're into the round of 16. Oh, this is the fate you expect though when you come through the playoffs. We're versing PSG. If we can get past PSG, I'm going to be feeling so good for the rest of the year. And yep, just as we predicted, Ndika is suspended. Honestly, I might go bring in... I'm going to see what C's looking at. Fuck it, I'm bringing C in. What's his overall at right now? It's still an 84 at Bournemouth. Maybe it comes back when we bring him back from loan. £1.15 million. It doesn't go up, but here's to hoping that C can step up for us. Got him on the private jet. The Khans are paying big. Get into the starting 11. Come on, C. Smith Rowe's gone up to an 86. Damn, he's killing it this year. All right, first leg at home against Paris. We lose it 1-0. It looks like a relatively close game, but Desiree Doué's goal in the 39th minute gives PSG the lead. Do not go out in the round of 16. Let's just focus on getting a goal back. C goes back to the bench as Evan Ndika rejoins. Off to Paris. Come on, fellas. Oh my God. 5-1. That is an incredibly humbling moment. 5-1 against PSG. One of the biggest losses I have ever copped in a Champions League game. 5-1. Yeah, no, we were never going to win the Champions League this year. When you're losing 5-1, you don't deserve to even be in the conversation. Holy hell. From the heartbreak of the Champions League to champions of England. 1 loss all season. That's crazy, bro. We were almost invincibles. If those draws didn't happen, we'd be almost Centurions. But Fulham, one of my dreams in life is to say the sentence, Fulham are Premier League champions. Oh my God. We were not even we were 24 points clear of not making the Champions League. We absolutely killed it this year. Who goes down? I want a big club to go down in this rebuild. West Ham go down alongside Leeds and Sheffield United. Make it the double! We have won the FA Cup over Arsenal. Oh my God, we beat Brentford in a West London derby in the semis, West Ham in the quarters. We have done the domestic double. Fulham FC. Treble winners. Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. We take out both North London clubs in the process, beating Tottenham to win the Carabao Cup. Bro, this is like copy and paste. A West London derby in the semi-finals, and then a North London opponent in the final. Fulham are treble holders. That makes our Champions League exit even more upsetting, bro. We could have done the quad, but Newcastle United made it to the final against Borussia Dortmund. Wolfsburg win the Europa League, and Atalanta win the Conference League. Bro, the Ballon d'Or is his. The Ballon d'Or is Amin Guiri's, surely. 54 goals, 16 assists in a treble winning team at 91 overall. He got 70 goal contributions this season. 70. Amin Guiri, if he is not even nominated for the Ballon d'Or, we are going to France and burning down their headquarters. Emile Smith Rowe, incredible. Him and Kevin, I'm glad we have kept the faith with them. Yunus Akun, 87, and Ndika goes up. Arambaru to an 89. Holy hell, fellas. But we are going to be losing 4 players. Harry Wilson, The Welsh Wizard is retiring. Meanwhile, I cannot get a contract sorted for Armando Broja, Mike Tressor, or Ethan Laird. Laird wanted to leave. Tressor or Broja just don't want to negotiate. They do not want to talk about contract negotiations, so you're going to unemployment. Treble winners is ridiculous though, fellas. We're going to have a Ballon d'Or player up top for us. Things are looking incredible at Fulham. Bring on season 6. I'm leaving zero room for error this year. I want the best team. We are the Premier League champions, the FA Cup. We've won every trophy in England in the past year. We have a say that other teams don't. I want us winning the Champions League this season. So I'm going to sign one of the world's best defensive midfielders, weakening a Premier League and Champions League opponent and increasing our team exponentially. It is Ryan Gravenberch, the Dutch defensive midfielder, 88 overall, signing on from Liverpool. With Wilson and Tressor both walking away on frees and retiring, we have to fill the backup roles at left and right midfield, so let's go get some players that are actually going to be so serviceable. I enjoyed having C come in last year during the suspension of Ndika because I still felt like I wasn't missing too much. If something happens to Kevin, Somerville is going to be a great player to bring in from the relegated West Ham side. And then from the Blades, Sheffield United, we're going to have Andre Brooks coming in as a backup right midfielder. I feel like I've been saying this for years, bro, but this team is just off its face. Baleba up to an 89. Kevin up to an 86. I am ready. We are so ready, bro. The starting 11 is perfect. Multiple players probably going to end up in the 90s this year. The bench and the squad depth is very, very solid. Oh, man. We won every domestic trophy last year. This year, we need to make sure we first get automatically to the round of 16. Theoretically, I want us probably winning every single trophy we can. I think it's not unrealistic after last year to go for the quad. In the Champions League, though, we start off with a matchup against Feyenoord. Then it's Club Brugge, followed by AC Milan. We get one of the Milan teams every year. Oh, no. Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Galatasaray in Istanbul. Galatasaray for the second year. December, it's away in Austria against Salzburg. And we rounded out hosting Atalanta and Leipzig. So honestly, a more difficult draw this year than last, but our squad is better this year. Good. Guiri is nominated. If he wasn't nominated, I would have been shocked. It's Mbappe, Endrick, Desiree Dewey, and Amin Guiri. Is our striker gonna win a Ballon d'Or? He did! We didn't get the cutscene though. Why did we not get the cutscene? Oh, that's so upsetting. Why have we not got the cutscene, bro? We have won a Ballon d'Or with Guiri, though. Our striker, the 2030 Ballon d'Or winner. Yes. All right, good. One loss, 17 points, 2 points off Real Madrid at the top, but I don't care. We are inside the top 8. A lot of English clubs inside the top 8. We escape, and we are automatically into the round of 16. I don't want to see PSG. All right, round of 16. We're going to take on a team that we played in league phase play off to the San Siro here in March as we face AC Milan. In league phase play, we beat them 3-2 at the San Siro, so I'm hoping for a similar scoreline here. And Ndika, why is he always suspended, bro? C comes in. He has not grown an overall since he came back to the squad, but here we go away at the San Siro for the first leg, where we win it 3-1. That is huge. Eunice with a brace. 3-1 to take back to the cottage. Nothing silly, boys. Nothing silly. Evan and Ndika back into the starting 11. Angry for some reason. Need to check that out after the game. But let's just get ourselves to the quarterfinals. We do. A lot of yellow cards. Smith Rowe and Kevin. A lot of yellow cards. But we get a 5-1 aggregate victory. That's nice compared to last year's round of 16. Another Italian adventure incoming. We are versing Juventus. Ndika back into the starting 11 for the first leg. I did get to the bottom of what was going on with him. Contract dispute, which seems to be a rite of passage in FC 26. But we got Hincapi up to a 90. Guiri's up to a 92. At the cottage for the first leg against Juve, which we win 2-1. 2-1 to take back to Turin. All right, 2-1 up. Traveling to Turin. Get the job done. Get us through to the semi-finals. Come on, Fulham. Come on, Fulham. We might have missed a penalty. How's that for a bloody super sub, though? Kevin comes off, and in the same minute, Somerville gets us a goal, which puts Juventus to the sword. Into the semi-finals we go. There was no winning here. There was always going to be a tough opponent. Either the reigning champions in Dortmund, the side that took us out last year in PSG, or the side that we've ultimately drawn, the side that has won 1 trillion Champions League is in this video, and in history, Real Madrid. These games really test our bottle. They really test my nerve. First leg, at home. Come on, fellas. Oh, it's a 2-2 draw. Bellingham gets them a late equalizer. They score early, they score late. It is all tied up as we head to the Bernabeu in a clash that it looks like statistically Real Madrid were better. All right, I've thrown just about as much money as I had at anybody that wanted a new contract. I want the squad as happy as possible heading into this semi-final. This is the biggest game in Fulham club history right now. But I want to have another massive game. I want the Champions League final to be the new biggest game. 2-2 at the Bernabeu. 2-1. Yunus. Holy hell, we've come from behind. Mbappe in the 10th minute, followed by Ryan Gravenberch to equalize. And Yunus, the Turkish midfielder, just booked our spot into a Champions League final. How good. Okay. I was kind of hoping we'd verse PSG in this final as a chance to get revenge for the demolition of last year, but we get an opportunity to stop Borussia Dortmund winning back-to-back Champions League titles. And it's the team that they beat in the Champions League final last year, winning the Europa League. Newcastle United winning an all-English Europa League. Valencia win the Conference League. Oh my God, we actually stunk it up. We stunk it up this year. 7th in the Premier League. Last year we got 1 loss. This year, 16. Okay, we were 8 points out of the Champions League. We are not in the Champions League next year if we don't win tonight. Arsenal won the league, as you all just saw. Brentford, Burnley, Leicester go down. We did win the Community Shield at the start of the season, 2-1 over Man City, so at least there's a trophy there. Man United win the FA Cup. We could not go back-to-back there. And when it comes to the Carabao Cup, no back-to-back there either. So the 3 tournaments we won last year, we stunk it up in this year. But it's okay because we have an opportunity to win the one that we want the most. A Champions League title on the line. We got a Ballon d'Or winner starting up top for us. Emile Smith-Rowe captaining the side. This is going to be a season to behold. A final to behold. Let's go win a Champions League with the mighty Fulham. Smith-Rowe trying to thread the needle there to Kevin. Kevin somehow gets past this Ramirez fella. Kevin in. Smith-Rowe back to goal. Smith-Rowe. Oh my God, Joe Bellingham. That is a clutch tackle. Felix Mecha. Do not let Arda Güler get the shot off. It is straight at Verbruggen, but somehow gets right back to them. Good tackle, Evan. Dortmund have got a stacked team. I'm not surprised they've won a Champions League in this video. Ball comes in, well headed away from Henkapi. Smith-Rowe on the counter-attack. We got lucky there. We got very lucky there. I see Kevin at the back post, but I'm probably just going to have to commit with Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe shoots it straight at the clock. Oh, my God. Yunus on the counter. Heavy touch, but gets it away nicely. Guiri holding it up, trying to get it out wide there to Yunus Akgun. Can we get it in early and get something before halftime? The Ballon d'Or winner, Guiri, plays it through. Smith-Rowe again. No. Endrick goes to Monk. Oh, I've read it wrong twice now. Calafiori does well to stop them from getting anything. Arda Güler trying to fake it out. Could have launched a finesse there. We are lucky that AI is not doing much in this game. Heel to heel, though. They just keep playing it back. When it was me, I would be shooting. Oh, my God. Now they... No! No! Endrick! Oh, I shouldn't have brought Verbruggen off the line, but it's worked out okay. Oh, they're passing it around so well. They're never taking the shot, but they're passing it so well. Ball in. We lose our mark, and they put it wide with Job. Who the hell was defending that? Guiri, going here to Kevin. He's had a quiet game. I saw Smith-Rowe, but we're going to keep going with our skillful Brazilian winger. Kevin, playing that one into Guiri. Back facing the goal. Going to go back here to Gravenberch. Come on, fellas. 86th minute. Plays it to Guiri. Guiri scores! Come on! Oh, it's the Ballon d'Or winner. I saw that ball. That was like slow motion. It falls to Guiri, and I was like, I just have to rip this one here. And it is the Algerian striker that might have just won the mighty Fulham FC a Champions League title. Great ball control. Kevin's been quiet in this one. Terrible defense from Dortmund. You can't give a Ballon d'Or winner an angle like that because he's just going to rip that one into the side netting every day of the week. Just hold possession. They play it back. Win that. Smith-Rowe was going to win the ball, but who cares? We have won a Champions League title. I said earlier in the video that the sentence I couldn't wait to say in my lifetime was Fulham are Premier League champions. Well, boys, I would love to be saying that Fulham are Champions League winners as well. Emile Smith-Rowe, a man that from day one we didn't know whether we were going to keep or sell, is now the man that played a crucial role in this Champions League final and in this rebuild and lifts a Champions League trophy as Fulham captain. Lads, if you enjoyed this Fulham rebuild, make sure you leave a like on the video, click here to subscribe, and click here to check out another video.